Hey, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's reading of Chapter 5 of The Mastery of Love. I'm so excited you guys are here with me. Excited that many of you have recognized, the importance of learning about love, that you've wanted to take the time to invest in yourselves. I was looking at the views from the last reading that I did with Chapter 4, and I was so pleased to see so many more views on there. Just lets me know that there's more and more of you that are interested in learning about love, that you're interested in investing in yourselves this year. So I think that's just fantastic. So today we're going to read Chapter 5. We're going to talk about the perfect, what is it called? The perfect relationship. Really looking forward to sharing this chapter with you. So The Mastery of Love, I feel like it's such an inspired book. The inspired words and the teachings and the principles that are found in this book. I resonate with everything that's talked about in here. For me, I'm 51, so I look back, I have quite a bit of life experience under my belt, especially as it pertains to relationships. I've been married 2 times, I've been divorced twice. I've fallen in love, fallen out of love, I've had my heart broken. I've been very dependent in relationships. I've sold myself out in relationships before just for the sake of connecting and being in a relationship. So I really appreciate the beautiful words of wisdom that we read in this book. I'm learning as well. And if there's one word, I mentioned this before, that I think just kind of sums up life, it's love. It really is. I think we're all here to learn about love. So this is a beautiful divine book for us to go through. So thanks for queuing in and joining me for tonight's reading. It's the end of the day on my end. Today is Monday, December the 4th. Time on my end is 5:40. I've been here in my studio all day working on tarot readings. I have several that are uploading right now. I've put on my cashmere sweater because I just want to get comfortable here. I want to connect with all of you. So whenever this reading of this Mastery of Love is finding you, hope it's a perfect time for you. Hopefully it's the end of the day on your end. You're just kicking back, lifting up your feet. I've turned the lights down a little bit just to make it a little more soothing and comfortable. We have some soothing background music playing in the background. So let's get started. Let's read Chapter 5. Okay, I better take a drink to begin with. Okay, so in Chapter 5 today, we're going to be talking about the perfect relationship. It's interesting, I have my tarot cards here in front of me, and there's only one card that's still turned over. It's kind of interesting. It's self-love. I think we're going to be talking a little bit about self-love today, and our ability to be able to love ourselves, how important that is, and how significant of a role that plays in the dynamic of all of our relationships in life. Okay, let's learn. So Chapter 5, the perfect relationship. Imagine a perfect relationship. You are always intensely happy with your partner because you live with the perfect woman or man for you. How would you describe your life with this person? Well, the way you relate to this person will be exactly the way you relate with a dog. A dog is a dog. It doesn't matter what you do, it's going to be a dog. You're not going to change a dog for a cat or a dog for a horse. It just is what it is. Just accepting this fact in your relations with other humans is very important, meaning you cannot change other people. You love them the way they are or you don't. You accept them the way they are or you don't. To try to change them to fit what you want them to be is like trying to change a dog for a cat or a cat for a horse. That is a fact. They are what they are and you are what you are. You dance or you don't dance. You need to be completely honest with yourself. To say what you want and see if you're willing to dance or not. You must understand this point. Because it is very important. When you understand, you are likely to see what is true about others and not just what you want to see. If you want a dog or a cat, think about how you relate to your pet. Let's consider your relationship with a dog, for example. The animal knows how to have a perfect relationship with you. When your dog does something wrong, what do you do with your dog? A dog doesn't care what you do, it just loves you. It doesn't have any expectations. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to take a little pause here. So we're talking about dogs and animals. What if their whole purpose in being here, especially dogs, is to be an example for all of us, an example of unconditional love and forgiveness? It's mindful for me, so I wanted to share that. But what about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, or your wife? They have so many expectations, and they are changing all the time. The dog is responsible for its half of the relationship with you. One half of the relationship is normal. The dog's half. When you come home, it barks at you, it wags its tail, it pants because it's so happy to see you. It does its part very well, and you know it is the perfect dog. Your part is almost perfect also. You handle your responsibility. You feed your dog, you take care of your dog, you play with your dog. You love your dog unconditionally. You do your part perfectly, and your dog does its part perfectly. Most people can easily imagine this kind of relationship with their dog, but why not with a woman or with a man? Do you know any woman or any man who is not perfect? The dog is a dog, and that's okay with you. You don't need to be responsible for your dog to make it be a dog. The dog doesn't try to make you be a good human or a good master. Then why can't we allow a woman to be a woman or a man to be a man and love that human just the way he or she is without trying to change that person? Perhaps you were thinking, but what if I am not with the right woman or the right man? That is a very important question. Of course, you have to choose the right woman or the right man. And what is the right woman, the right man? Someone who wants to go in the same direction as you. Someone who is compatible with your views and your values. Emotionally, physically, economically, spiritually. How do you know if your partner is right for you? Let's imagine that you are a man and a woman is going to choose you. If there are 100 women looking for a man and each will look at you as a possibility, for how many of these women will you be the right man? The answer is, you just don't know. That is why you need to explore and take the risk. But I can tell you that the right woman for you is the woman you love just the way she is. The woman you don't have to feel that you have to need to change. That's the right woman for you. You are lucky if you find the right woman for you. And at the same time, you are the right man for her. You are going to be the right man for her if she loves you just the way you are and she doesn't want to change you. She doesn't have to be responsible for you. She can trust that you are going to be what you claim you are, what you project you are. She can be as honest as possible and project to you what she is. She will not come to you pretending to be something that you later discover that she is not. The one who loves you just the way you are, because if someone wants to change you, it means you are not what that person wants. Then why are they with you? You know, it's easy to love your dog because your dog doesn't have opinions about you. All right, here we're moving into opinions and judgments now. The dog just loves you unconditionally. This is important. Then if your partner loves you just the way you are, it's just like the dog loves you. You can be yourself with your partner. You can be a man or you can be a woman, just the way the dog can be a dog with you. Pretty good chapter. When you meet a person, just after the hello, she starts sending you information right away. She can hardly wait to share her dream with you. She opens herself, even if she doesn't know she is doing it. It is so easy for you to see every person just the way she is. You don't need to lie to yourself. You can see what it is you are buying, and you either want it or you don't. But you cannot blame the other person for being a dog or a cat or a horse. If you want a dog, then why are you getting a cat? If you want a cat, then why would you get a horse or a chicken? You know the kind of man or woman that you want, the one who makes your heart sing, the one who is aligned with the way you are, the one who loves you just as you are. Why set yourself up for something else? Why not get what you want? Why pretend to make someone fit what she is not? It doesn't mean you don't love her. It means you make a choice and say yes or no because you love yourself also. Okay, we're right back here to self-love. It all starts with us. Okay, I need to find where I was. You simply make another choice. But let's imagine that you get a dog and you love cats. You want a dog to behave like a cat and you don't try to change the dog because it never says meow. What are you doing with a dog? Get a cat. This is the only way to begin a great relationship. First, you have to know what you want. Think about what it is you want. You have to know exactly what the needs are of your body are, what the needs of your mind are, and what fits well with you. There are millions of men and women, and each one is unique. Some will make a good match for you, and some won't make a good match at all. You can love everyone, but to deal with a person on an everyday basis, you will need someone more closely aligned to you. That person doesn't need to be exactly like you. The two of you only need to be like a key in a lock, a match that works. You need to be honest with yourself and honest with everyone else. Project what you feel you really are, and don't pretend to be what you're not. It's as if you're in a market and you're going to sell yourself. And you're also going to buy. In order to buy, you want to see the quality of what you're going to get. But in order to sell, you need to show others what you are. It isn't about being better or worse than someone else. It's just about being true to yourself, being true to who you truly are. If you see what you want, why not take a risk? But if you see that it's not what you want, you know you're going to pay for it. So don't go around crying, "My lover abuses me," when it was so clear for you to see. Don't lie to yourself. Don't invent in people what is not there. This is the message. If you know what you want, you will find it is just like your relationship with your dog, but better. See what it is in front of you. Don't be blind or pretend to see what's not there. Don't deny what you see just to get the merchandise when the merchandise will not fit your needs. I've done that before. When you buy something you don't need, it ends up in a garage. It's the same in a relationship. Of course, it can take years for us to learn this painful lesson, but it's a good beginning. If you make a good beginning, the rest is going to be easier because you can be yourself. It's all about getting off to a good start. Know yourself. Be true to yourself. Perhaps you already have a certain amount of time invested in a relationship. If you choose to keep going, you can still have a new beginning by accepting and loving your partner just as she is. But first, you will need to take a step back. You have to accept yourself and love yourself just the way you are. It all begins with you. Only by loving and accepting yourself the way you are can you truly be and express who and what you are. You are what you are, and that is all you are. You don't need to pretend to be something else. When you pretend to be what you are not, we're always going to fail. Once you accept yourself just the way you are, the next step is to accept your partner. If you decide to be with a person, don't try to change anything about him or her. Just like your dog or your cat, let he or she be who he or she is. She has the right to be who she is. She has the right to be free. When you inhibit your partner's freedom, you inhibit your own, because you have to be there to see what your partner is doing and not doing. And if you love yourself so much, you're never going to give up your personal freedom. It's about balance. Can you see the possibilities a relationship offers? It's beautiful. Explore the possibilities. Be yourself. Find a person who matches with you. Take the risk, but be honest. If it works, keep going. If it doesn't work, then do yourself and your partner a favor. Walk away. Let him or her go. Don't be selfish. Give your partner the opportunity to find what he or she really wants, and at the same time, give yourself the opportunity. If it's not going to work, it is better to look in a different direction. If you cannot love the partner the way he or she is, someone else can love he or she the way they are. Don't waste your time and don't waste your partner's time. This is just respect. If you are the provider and your partner is the addict, and this is not what you want, perhaps you would be happier with someone else. But if you decide to be in a relationship, do your best. Do your best because you are the one who is going to reap the reward. If you can love your partner the way he or she is, if you can open your heart completely to your partner, you can reach heaven through your love. If you already have a cat and want a dog, what can you do? You can start practicing from this point forward. You have to aim for a new beginning by cutting your ties with the past and starting all over again. You don't have to have attachments to the past. All of us can change, and it can be for the better. This is a new beginning for you, to forgive whatever happened between you and your partner. Let it go, because it was nothing of personal importance. It was nothing but misunderstanding. It was nothing but someone being hurt and trying to get even. It's not worth whatever happened in the past to spoil the possibility that the two of you can reach heaven in your relationship. Have the courage to go for it 100% or let it go. Let go of the past and begin every day at a higher level of love. This will keep the fire alive and make your love grow even more. Of course, you don't need to look at what it means to have the good moments and the bad moments. If being emotionally or physically abused is a bad moment, I don't know if a couple should keep going. If a bad moment is that someone loses her job, something is wrong at work, or someone has an accident, That is another kind of bad moment. If the bad moments come from fear, if they come from a lack of respect, humiliation, or hatred, I don't know how many bad moments a couple can truly survive. In the relationship with your dog, you can have a bad moment. For whatever reason, it just happens. An accident, a bad day at work, or whatever. You come home and the dog is there barking at you, tail wagging, looking for your attention. You don't feel like playing with the dog, but the dog is there. The dog will feel hurt that you don't want to play because won't feel hurt because you don't want to play because the dog doesn't take it personally. Learn from our animals. Once the dog celebrates your arrival and finds out that you don't want to play, the dog goes and plays by itself. The dog doesn't stay there and insist that you play with him or her and be happy. Sometimes you can feel more support from your dog than from your partner who wants to make you happy. If you don't feel like being happy and you only want to be quiet, it's nothing personal. It has nothing to do with your partner. Perhaps you have a problem and you need to be quiet. But that silence can cause your partner to make a lot of assumptions. What did I do now? It's because of me. It has nothing to do with your partner. It's nothing personal. Left alone, the tension will go away and you will return to happiness. That is why the key in the lock has to be a match, because if one of you has a bad moment or an emotional crisis, your agreement is to allow each other to be who and what you are. Then the relationship is another story. It's another way of being. The whole thing can be very beautiful. Relationship is an art. The dream that two create is more difficult to master than one. To keep the two of you happy, you have to keep your half perfect. You're responsible for your half, and your half has a certain amount of garbage. Your garbage is your garbage. The one who has to deal with that garbage is you, not your partner. If your partner tries to clean your garbage, she is going to end up with a broken nose. I always thought that sounded funny. We have to learn not to put our nose where no one wants it. And it's the same with your partner's half. Your partner has a certain amount of garbage. Knowing your partner has garbage, you allow her to deal with her own garbage. You're going to love her and accept her with all of your garbage and all of her garbage. You're going to respect her garbage. You're not in the relationship to clean your partner's garbage. She's going to have to clean up her garbage on her own. If your partner asks for your help, you have the choice to say no. Saying no doesn't mean you don't love or accept your partner. It means that you're not able to, or you don't want to play that game. For example, if your partner gets angry, you can say, "You have the right to be mad, but I don't have to be mad just because you're mad." It's fairness, it's balance. I didn't do anything to you to cause your anger. You don't have to accept your partner's anger at all, but you can allow her to be angry. There is no need to argue. Just allow her to be what she is. Allow her to heal without intervening. And you can also agree not to interfere with your own healing process. Let's say that you are a man and you are happy, and for whatever reason your partner cannot be happy. She has personal problems. She is dealing with her garbage and she is unhappy. Because you love her, you will support her, but supporting her doesn't mean that you're going to be unhappy because she's unhappy. That is not support at all. If she's unhappy and you get unhappy, both of you sink. If you are happy, your happiness can bring her happiness back. In the same way, if you are down and she is happy, her happiness is your support. For your own sake, let her be happy. Don't even try to take her happiness away. Whatever happens in your work, don't come home and throw your poison at her. Be silent and let her know it's nothing personal. You're just dealing with yourself. You can say, "Keep being happy, keep playing, and I will join you when I can enjoy your happiness. Right now, I just need to be alone." But I want to point out, right, as males, guys, we're fix-it guys. You know, so many times relationships, we're there in a conversation and the person we're with has had a bad day and we're hearing it and what we're thinking about is just wanting to fix things, right? Wanting to fix their problems for them. It's not about that. It's about being a good listener. All right. Being a good listener. Okay, if you understand the concept of the wounded mind, you will understand the reason why romantic relationships are so difficult. The emotional body is sick. It has wounds. It has poison. If you are not aware that we are sick or that your partner is sick, we become selfish. The wounds hurt, and we have to protect our wounds, even from the one we love. But if we have the awareness, we can have different agreements. When we are aware that our partner has emotional wounds and we love our partner, we certainly don't want to touch her wounds. We don't want to push her to have to heal her wounds. And we don't want to push, and Take the risk and take the responsibility to make a new arrangement with your partner. Not an agreement that you read in a book, but an agreement that works for you. If it doesn't work, change the agreement and create a new one. Use your imagination to explore new possibilities, to create new agreements based on respect, love, and self-love. Communication through respect and love is the whole key to keeping the love alive and never getting bored in your relationship. It's about finding your voice and stating your needs. It's about trusting yourself, and it's about trusting your partner. What are you going to share with your partner? What you are going to share with your partner is not the garbage, but your love, your romance, your understanding. The goal is for the two of you to be happier and happier, and that calls for more and more love. You are the perfect man or woman, and your partner is the perfect human, just as the dog is the perfect dog. If you treat your partner with love and respect, who is going to get the benefit? No one else but you. Heal your half, and you're going to be happy. If you can heal that part of you, then you're going to be ready for a relationship without fear, without needing to be in a relationship. But remember, you can only heal your half. If you're in a relationship and you work with your half and your partner works with the other half, you will see how quickly progress is made. Love is what makes you happy. And if you become the servant of love and your partner becomes the servant of love, the two of you can just imagine all the possibilities. The day will come when you can be with your partner with no guilt and no blame, no anger and no sadness. That day will be wonderful when you can be completely open, only to share, only to serve, only to be able to give of your love. Once you decide to be a couple, you are there to serve the one you love, the one you choose. You are there to serve your love to your lover, to be each other's servant. In every kiss, in every touch, you feel you're there to please the one you love without expecting anything back. More than sex, it's about being together. The sex becomes wonderful also, but it's completely different. Sex becomes communion. Sex becomes a complete surrendering, a dance, an art, a supreme expression of beauty. You can make an arrangement that says, I like you, you are wonderful, and you make me feel so good. I'll bring the flowers, you bring the soft music. We'll dance, and we'll both go to the clouds. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's romantic. It's no longer a war of control, it's about service. But you can only do that when the love for you that you have for yourself is very strong. Okay, there we have it. There's chapter 5. What a fantastic chapter. I mean, I connect so much with the energies and the experiences that are talked about in this book. I feel like I've been on both sides of the relationship. And it's not like I'm in a place where I have relationships all figured out, that I've become the master of love. I'm learning just like each and every one of you. And I'm so happy that so many of you are interested in bettering yourselves and learning more about love in your life, learning about self-love, so that you have the ability to be able to create and to manifest the kind of connections and relationships in your life that make you feel so whole, that make your life feel so fulfilling. Okay, guys, thank you so much for showing up. Wishing you all the very best. Have a fantastic evening. And by the way, maybe this is kind of like a bedtime story for you, right? Maybe this is just the last thing you listen to before you go to bed. And I mention that because I've been doing some writing lately, and I'm thinking about maybe writing some bedtime stories. We'll have to see what happens. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic night.